Hello and welcome back to our series all on Swift Playgrounds. This is video 4, so if you haven't checked out videos 1, 2 and 3 yet, I would encourage that you try those first. They are linked in the description. We're going to use some of the skills that we learned in those videos today to do something a little bit more complex. So let's dive straight into it and have a look at if and else statements. So here we are back in Swift, and again today looks like a little bit of an easier puzzle. We've only got a gem and a switch here, but we might find that it gets a little bit more complex as we go along. Let's change our character out again today. I think we've used all of these now, so I'm going to go for my favourite, which is Little Blue here with the very handsome satchel on his shoulder. Now unfortunately, like I said, things aren't as easy as they seem. The gem and the switch is going to change position and sometimes completely swap every time we press run code. So let's start off by building quite a simple if statement here. I'm just going to put move forward in for now, because that's going to get me to my first position. And then I'm going to use the if statement that I learned in the last session. So if my avatar on screen is on, is on a closed switch, let's use those curly brackets. And if you look, if I use the wrong set of brackets, Swift will help me by identifying with that orange dot again on the side that this is something that I've mistyped or there's something wrong there. So it does actually help you punctuate things correctly and show you that as long as you're using those curly brackets, you're going to be okay. I've remembered to put the parenthesis in after toggle switch as well before closing my curly brackets. Now let's add in something new. So if Lil Blue is on a closed switch, he's going to toggle that switch. What I'm including now is an else if statement or an else if block. So if he's on a closed switch, toggle a closed switch. Else, if he's on a gem, I want him to collect the gem. And that is a block of code that Little Blue's going to understand when I run the program. So let's test that and have a little go. He should move forward and he should check that every time. And what he's actually doing here is he's checking one possible condition, and then the else is where he's checking the other possible condition. So he's either on a switch or he's on a gem or he's on nothing. So now all I need to do is work out how to get him to do that for the 2 steps forward in the puzzle. And again, I'm going to use a skill that we learned in a previous video. I'm going to use a for loop. And I know that Lil Blue needs to take 2 steps forward, so the number that I put in is going to be for 1 to 2. Just like last time, I'm going to grab the code that I know works and drop that in the for loop. Let's run the code and see if it works. This time, I'm going to select step through my code slowly so that Swift will actually show me what it's checking each time. As you see, the configuration of the gems and the switches has changed again every time that I'm pressing run code. Let's see if Little Blue is able to solve the problem. What's really nice about stepping through the code slowly like this is you can see that the code is slowly checking every variable to see whether each condition has been met. So let's try that again to see if the code still works even when the configuration of gems and switches is randomized. This time we've got 2 gems, and as we can see, we've still been successful. Just for luck, let's run it one more time. We haven't made any changes to the code, and Little Blue is still working his way through the puzzle. We've been successful. If you'd like to find out more, click subscribe and also turn on notifications so you're up to date with everything that we're doing on YouTube. And don't forget to check us out on Twitter @DLT Hartlepool for the latest and also to get in touch.